there are two ways, right? Now, you either prefer having the director in the edit suit to take that final call, or you do the final version and then show it to the director and he makes his suggestions. So what is your game plan? Like,
no, for me I'm easy. For me I'm easy. I actually tune myself to how the director works.
Okay.
So if the director wants me to cut and give him a different version of than what he has thought about, I work that way. If he wants to sit down, for an example, Vasandabalan sir, whom I worked with, he prefers to sit down with me while I edit.
For Kavya Talaivan.
For Kavya Talaivan, okay. Yes. On the other opposite direction, if you look at Venkat Prabhu, he doesn't come to the edits at all. Okay. He says, "You finish it. I'll come back and watch it once you are done with it." That's all. But generally, if you ask me personally, what my personal opinion would be, I would say I want to get inputs from the director on what he wants in this particular scene or on the particular episode that we are working on, and then I'd say, let me try and get you a new version. Because I most probably I would look at it in a different perspective than how they shot it. So that might give you a different alternative for them to work on.
Right. Now coming back to Kabali, what was the toughest part for you as an editor? Like to find that emotional quotient in the film, or was it how do we present it and mount it as a big Rajini sir's film?
See, Kabali, we had a lot of challenges. One thing was not to cross over more than what we are supposed to, especially when it comes to superstars, image factor and all that. Yeah. So that was a major challenge. I've seen that happening in most big hero films. You have to satisfy their core audience, which is their, their fan base. On top of it, you need to also convey across what your script is all about. That was again a challenge here in Kabali as well. But we were very particular that it has to be an actor's film. As a lot of acting needs to be incorporated. It needs to be presented in a very realistic and a live manner. That thing we didn't want to go over dramatize any particular scene or just have it for the sake of having some bringing in some emotion, fake emotions. That's what we call. That will never be there. The film itself, there is one entire chunk where you see the rise and the rise of the Don himself. So that was a very hard thing to cut because we had a lot of footage. Everything was shot in detail, and but we have to bring it down because obviously that would become a film by itself. We have it. We didn't want it to be lengthier. So to bring it down to a level where the emotion is also intact and also the story is conveyed. So that was a hard part to work on.
You recently said that the first fight where the character is established is more than enough for people to fall in love with the character. But that's not the film by itself, right? So, of course. So what is this about this 55-year-old man that you find very charismatic as an editor?
See, the Don or the character, first thing first, when you get into the film, you see Rajini sir himself and him playing with his beard and all that. But when it comes to the character himself, it's a very emotional film, like I said before. It's about his travel, and the first 15-20 minutes, you start relating to him so much that you want him to win. You want him to go find what he has lost in his 25 years. So that comes out really well, and the moment you start getting attached to his character himself, I think you'll start traveling along with him in this film. That's the main core idea, and that's where we are all banking on. Hopefully that should work out.
Now you are a big Rajini fan, I believe.
Of course. Who isn't?
So you met him before the film began, right? And you were also there at the shoot.
Yeah.
So what were your conversations with him like?
When we first met him, before we went for shoot, Rajini sir wanted to meet the core team, so we all went and met him. We thought it would be like a 5-minute hi-bye time, but we ended up sitting with him for an hour and a half. He was inquiring about each and every one of us. He was asking us what were the films that we worked on, and he loved Santosh music. He talked about Madras, he talked about this particular character in Madras and why he liked it. So it went on close to an hour and a half, and finally he said, "You guys have done so many films, how are you not part of this media frenzy, stay away from the media. That's what I said. and see, since you met him, we all wanted to take pictures with him, and everyone was like, how do we ask him? He was sweet enough to, I think, Santosh's wife asked for a picture, and then we all lined up. So he got there. It took us, for me, it took me like close to, I was like shivering for the next 2 hours. You don't expect that. So after shoot, after post that, I met him a couple of times in shoot. It was very nice, small conversations, not big. Okay. He'll say, how are you? How's your work and all that.
But very intense as an actor, is it? Like once he's in front of the camera?
Oh, I've seen him change. See, the moment you say, sir, camera rolling, he starts, he's a different man, and once he's off camera, he's a different man. I've seen that happen, and I was like mesmerized. You don't evolve, then I think you're stuck somewhere. I personally tell myself that I need to change from film to film. If you give me a film of mine that I had cut like 6 months ago, I would still make changes to it. Okay. Maybe my mindset at that point of time, 6 months ago or a year ago was different, and today it's different. The way I look at things are different.